Hello and welcome to week 8, video lecture number 2, and we are in our BUS302 retail management course. And this week we are talking about the last few topics related to retail management, and so our lecture is called Retail Management. We started off, we talked a little bit about the background of a integrated communication plan and how you need to develop your objectives and focus on developing a budget and figuring out how you're going to measure things. And now in this video, we're going to start off, we're going to talk more specifically about that advertising, which is paid, right? That paid delivered. So we have the budget. Now we're going to see how much we can allocate for advertising and how much, and then also, again, remember, we have this integrated communication program, right? So we're trying to use a mix of media, a mix of things to really communicate our message, right? So when we start looking at the mix that we might be using, right, we have new what they call more new media, which is online, mobile, social, those areas, and then traditional media, which would be your mass advertising, sales promotion, in-store, personal selling, those kind of things, right? So when the new media has a high degree of personalization, a high degree of interactive, you got more message control, all these things. And then traditional media is just not very personal, not very interactive, those kind of, right? So as you look at the mix, that's what we're thinking about now with the integrated communication mix. How are we going to use all these different tools to communicate with our customer, right? So traditional media, again, using flyers, outdoor advertising, we're trying to bring customers to our store using a variety of approaches. Right. So some mass media that we could use, newspaper, this would be the inserts that we put into the weekly newspaper, magazines, a direct mail, television advertising, radio, billboards. These are all traditional mass media advertising approaches that are normally controlled at a company level, right? So a store might not be able to decide which ones they're going to do because it is controlled at a higher level, right? Using freestanding insert, right? These things would be more of a store area. We're deciding, okay, we're going to put this into a Sunday newspaper, and right, so we might be able to design our these types of inserts a little bit more. But again, the planning might be a little bit bigger picture, right? So it depends on how that is scheduled through the store. So this is a traditional media area. Sales promotions can be more store-based, right? So these would be incentives, something that you want to do to build some excitement, to get consumers into your store, or maybe highlight a product or service. You could use a coupon, a rebate, maybe do some different premium things, right? All sorts of different ways. These are all traditional media. Within the store, you have also some samples. That's a big thing. Using samples, maybe you'll do an event, some face-to-face personal selling. These, again, all traditional parts of our integrated communication system. This is an example of a point of purchase display. This is highly for impulse purchases, why people are waiting, things like that. PR is also going to be part of this. Now, PR is not something you pay for. It is something that you generate by doing right, either good or bad things, right? So having a good relationship with the media, doing what you can to build positive image, right? All of these things are done the PR side. You need to manage these pieces as well. Right. Some other ways that people do this, Neiman Marcus does its Christmas catalog. Macy's does cause-related marketing, right? Product placement is a huge part of this, right? Where you see products in a television program or a movie. That's a huge advertising piece. So this is, again, public relations, things that you do and hopefully work well to drive people to your product. All part of your integrated media marketing communication program. Example of the Neiman Marcus, right, where they had the Maserati listed in their Christmas thing. So that's kind of fun. Now the new media elements, these are going to be your websites where you're going to have to do search engine marketing, search engine optimization, right? Email, do mobile marketing for mobile commerce, having your app, push notifications, And then also, how do you create a community, right? This is a huge part of your marketing, right? Creating a community by bringing customers together in different ways. So this is something that REI does, right? They create a community of customers by having an adventure planning division, right? All those things to help customers, drive customers to their store, and then also to help them build those connections, right? So these are new media elements, things that you may want to do as a retailer. I know there's a store here in the town I live in that does the same thing, and I love it because then I'm able to go connect with other individuals that love to be outdoors and do different adventures, and so it gets me into the store, and I have purchased quite a bit there because of that, and connecting with other customers and things. And finally, social media. This is a huge part, right? Needing to use social media to engage your customers, get a good dialogue going, finding out what sentiment is, using blogs. All of these have to be part of your overall strategy. And it does help, right? So you've got to get that integrated communication. Remember, you're sending the same message and building the same message to build that relationship with your consumer. So these are all things that you're going to have to do. And as a retail manager, you're doing this more and more today than you would be 25 years ago. 25 years ago would have all been your marketing department. But today, as a retail manager, you might need to manage your store's Facebook account or Instagram account or YouTube, all these things to drive people to your store. And so that new media piece is huge. With that brings us to the end of our second lecture video, and we'll pick up with lecture video number 3 next.